Hello and welcome to today's video. On day number 4, we apparently cheated a little bit and maybe even paid Senpai to give us amazing drops, so on day number 5 I decided to tone it down and just have a normal casual day. The main goal of day number 5 was to hit level 97 and to set ourselves some kind of benchmark of EXP so we can kind of pace ourselves over the next couple of days. We ended up getting 20% EXP, which I'm going to use as kind of like the base for each day. So the minimum we want to do over the next couple of days is 20%, which means in 4 days or so, we should be level 98 finally. As far as the plan goes, we're going to continue running only thrones with standard of heroes, corruptions, and guaranteed events, with the hopes that we get a lot of EXP events to make the grind a little easier. With that said, let's check how we did on day number 5, pull the video, and see what we actually dropped. So we start the day about 5 or 10 minutes into the grind. We drop a string of ears right by a gate. This gate wasn't the most impressive one. I'd even go as far to say it's one of the worst gates that we've had this season. So while I was contemplating buying something, I ended up going back to the map. The strings themselves were 11 PDR, so not the most amazing ones, and they slammed fire res, which means we kind of left them on the ground. A couple minutes later, we go ahead and drop a nice Whispering Mirage. And as somebody who uses 2 of those, I know the value of a good Mirage, so I'm always looking for a nice one. This was a -7 to Physical Pierce and 1 to Shadow Warrior, which is pretty nice overall. And the best slams you're looking for are either +1 or 20 FCR. This got neither of those, got attack rating, and it also broke, so I guess that doesn't matter too much. The first amulet of the day drops at about 40 minutes into the stream, and it is a Nokazan relic. The first unique ring of the stream drops a little bit afterwards. And it is an Angel ring. So a pretty slow start for the first hour, but we also drop at the 1 hour mark our first facet for the day. Day 4 gave us 2 5/5s, so I wasn't expecting too much. It was a free lightning, which, while I was expecting much, is still less than what I was expecting. We do ID an Azarath with level 11 Sanctuary Aura, which is pretty cool, and we are looking for that 4-0 slam. We end up only getting half of those sockets, so I guess it's not worth that much. Our first valuable item of the day is a puzzle box, and we drop it 2 hours into the grind. Two minutes later, we drop a unique amulet, and it is Seraph's Hymn. Seraph's is a very useful amulet that usually gets overlooked by many newer players, but this season it gets used a lot, especially by B-Fury assassins. The best slams are plus skills and enhanced damage, but a lot of other things can be useful too. We end up getting extra gold for monsters. Another amulet drops about 10 minutes later. And this time, it's a High Lord's Wrath. So 2 really good amulets in a row. Hopefully this one gets a very nice slam. Well, as the graphic changes, we can see that it didn't make it through. That's okay, not all of them can live. I was pretty excited about getting this Reaper's Toll slammed with 5 sockets, but after looking a bit through the market, apparently Reaper's Tolls don't sell for that much anymore, so I guess that wasn't that big of a find. As you can see, it's on the ground. Go ahead to grab some gold from Geeds. And we wanted to get the arcanes and also a nice amulet. We sadly got a Skulders that didn't even roll that well, so we sold it back. But the amulet was Amara's, so that's 3 really good amulets in a row. While again we're hoping for plus skills, FCR, or other really good slams, we end up getting a poison resist slam. Indio decides to bless us with our 3rd facet of the day and a nice Leviathan, which rolls almost perfectly both on the strength, the enhanced defense, and the PDR. We're hoping for 3 sockets. Sadly, we only got 1 of them, which is pretty much the worst slam you can get. The facet was a 5 poison skill damage with -4 poison resistance, which is overall okay, but doesn't sell for too much. A pair of Ogre Gauntlets drops. That is of course Steel Rends. We also have a Geet event at the end of the map. There's a chance for an Occultist, a Doombringer, and a Noscoil, so I go ahead to town and try to get some gold out of my chest. Thinking back, I feel like I had a lot of Geet events during this day, but I can't remember anything that he sold me that ended up working well for me, so I guess that's something to remember for tomorrow. A pair of Mage Fist slams for fire resistance. A Razor Tail that rolls max damage and dexterity with a perfect roll. Sadly slams Spears, making it not too useful for Amazons, but maybe useful for a mercenary. The Ogres end up rolling pretty average rolls for older stats. It's nothing too exciting, and they break anyway, so I guess that doesn't matter. And the Doombringer slams Crushing Blow, which is not the most desirable slam. Later on, we get a Headhunter's Glory with 3 sockets, and we slam it for max life. I don't think that's a very good slam since people don't normally boss with it. On the next Geets, we didn't get the Hellslayer we wanted, but we did get a Ravenlore, which is a pretty much guaranteed purchase. It had pretty nice base, but sadly it slammed attack rating, which is not that useful for Ravenlore. We ended up giving this to a viewer, I think. A 4th facet drops, and this time it's -5 for the fire skill damage, which is a pretty good facet and I think can sell for a little bit. Our first big rune of the day drops right before dropping a unique ring, and it's a Cham rune. Finally, something of value. The ring is a nature's piece with pretty terrible rolls. It ends up slamming FCR, which is a pretty GG slam, but again, the bad rolls means it doesn't worth that much. Another Mirage drops, and this time it's a -8, and sadly it gets attack rating as well. On such a nice base, that was a real shame. A pair of Gores drop, and even though they have low deadly, we still slam them, but they slam for enhanced defense, which I feel like happens too much. Our 5th facet for the day is a -4 to fire resistance and 3 to fire skill damage. That's 5 facets a day. That's actually pretty crazy. A pair of unique rings drop, and one of them is a Nature's, which breaks, and the other is a Raven's, which breaks as well. So I guess it didn't matter that much. A second puzzle box drops, which is nice to see just so we know we get something that we can sell for value. A Vex rune drops, making our total value at about 4 to 5 high runes over that day, which is not that bad of a day. Lastly, we got a Halibur's Rain with 15 PDR, sadly only 2 to masteries, but I wanted to see what it would slam. Fyra's again, which seems to have repeated a lot this day, but overall, that was our day in drops. We did manage to get 20% though, so I guess goal achieved. With that in mind, even though you have some bad days, you have to remember that the good days are just around the corner, or maybe you just had them, so you know, the next day is okay if it doesn't go as well. I'm gonna prep more for my grind, maybe make a few more maps, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next stream or in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next time, have a good whatever you're having, and bye bye bye.